It started. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't pause me like that. You gotta give me the emote, guy.
Look, okay. We had that emote. We had that one.
Yeah, it's there somewhere, man.
We had that one. No, we don't have a hand pause. We have like a stop sign.
It's with the hand though.
Is it?
Yeah, guy. You made that one, guy.
I think it was a stop sign.
See, look there.
Let me see.
That one.
Ah, right.
Right. And then it blinks on.
Right.
Twitch.
Right. Okay, so pardon my interruption. You were saying
it's my favorite show, guy. What's that song? Calm down. Calm down. That song? Rema, whatever. It's like a TikTok song.
Oh, I should know it. I mean, I live on TikTok.
Right?
I should know it, but I don't know it.
Oh, here. This song. That song? Oh, baby, calm down. Calm down.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So this is a clip, and he's like at a big concert for the first time.
I saw that. Yes, I saw that.
That's Liddy, guy.
I saw that, and he was just sitting there, just watching the crowd. He was just in awe of how the crowd was just, hey, don't worry, you chill out. We'll do your job for you.
Yeah, I didn't even like that song, guy. I played this song like on repeat for like 3 days since I saw that clip now, guy.
Isn't that how it goes, though?
That's the only song I've listened to for 3 days, guys.
That's exactly how it goes. Hey, it's Flame the DJ. What up with you, brother? What up with you?
What up, Flame?
That's how it goes. I was having a conversation with OG Mar Brown a couple weeks ago when he was getting his haircut, and we were just talking about music and some foundational songs, and we're talking about just even before video came around. So he was talking. So his thing was like,
you guys are old, guy.
Hey, man, just hey.
Oh, before video came. Not even for video. Okay, go on.
It was just a conversation about how once music videos got introduced, how it impacted the music scene tremendously. Because he's like, if like before videos, you had to be a musical artist and you had to be good at what you're doing for you to, garner fanfare, right?
Yeah.
And there'd be songs that you hear, and if you don't like it, you just don't like it because it doesn't sound good. But then when the videos came out, he's saying, like, now you hear a song, you don't like it, but then you see the video, and you're like, you know what?
Something catches you, or you see something first, right? Yeah.
And I like this. You know what I mean? So that just goes to say, like, with you right now, you're saying you hear that song, you never liked it. Then you saw that one clip. Not saying that you saw the music video, but you seen a visual that hit you in a way to make you say, you know what, man? It resonated. So here you are playing it on repeat for like
3 days. Loud, guy. Loud in my car, too. People look at me crazy, guy. And I don't know. All I know is calm down. Calm down.
Right. There's clips. There's clips on Insta and Reels or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, because most of Reels can be like a minute. And bro, like I will have that reel just running over and over like it's a song just playing.
Yeah, I gotta walk out the room, come back in the room, and it's still going.
I mean, in the car, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just have that thing on repeat because, like, sometimes there's like whatever it is such a vibe. Yeah,
I hear that. Thing's lit, guy. I'm gonna do that one day.
J-Cap Snaps. What up with you?
Keith stay woke.
Keith don't take naps. Keith don't take power naps. You know what Keith do?
Keith stay woke.
Keith stay woke.
Keith stay woke. It's perfect. IQ remix. Big up.
The smartest man on Twitch. The man with the IQ. IQ remix. What up with you?
Yogi check. Good evening.
Boy, stand up.
Dun, dun, dun. So, how was your weekend? Anything exciting?
I'll tell you what was exciting.
Okay, that's the question.
I'll tell you what was exciting. So, on Saturdays after work, right, I'll go and pick up my youngest son, right, and and then I'll pick up my lady, and then do my Saturday evenings, right? Like whatever it is that we get into. But then this weekend, my son was occupied. Like him and his mom had something to do this Saturday, and then my lady was occupied with her daughter. So when I was finished work on Saturday,
when you say occupied, you guys were just like parenting, right?
They might have had things to do.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So then this Saturday was a Saturday where I finished work and I didn't have to go and pick up anybody. I just came straight home. And I came straight home and I jumped right into bed.
Oh, hey? That doesn't sound like you, guy.
Bro, I jumped right into bed and I was like, I laid down and go, this is crazy.
And this is what, Saturday you said?
Saturday.
Yeah.
I said, this feels crazy right now.
Right.
Like it just felt so good. So then I got my sleep, woke up, and I said, oh, you know what it is? It's party time.
Hey, before even that guy, so the funny thing that I was also in bed all day Saturday, but that's because I went out on Friday, guy. Just in case, like, disclaimer, warning, when the Clark boys are in the building, you gotta watch out.
The Clark boys, they're trouble.
Dan Clark with an E and Dr. Clark were in the building. We went to Yush. Oh yeah, the Clark boys were in the building.
Talk to me. How was Yush?
Yush was dope, man. I think Yush is my. I think, and no disrespect to any other reggae party, but I think Yush is my favorite reggae party. I think, because Yush keeps it moving. So I enjoyed little Yush. Was where was it? Downtown Nest? Is that right? I never been there before, but Nest, anyways, whatever it was before, and yeah, it was litty. Music was good. Had a good time. Good people, and yeah, we had some fun. So by the time my Saturday was just my whole Saturday was spent in bed. So while you were doing all that, I was like, oh man, I'm supposed to go out Saturday. I don't know if I can go out Saturday. I can't do 2 nights in a row. So it was just pure water. And I went for breakfast. I had a good breakfast. I went out to the corner for breakfast. And yeah, and then water and naps all day Saturday. So that's kind of probably gets you to where you were in your story. I apologize, sir.
Nah, there's no apology necessary.
Julie Mango, what up? Fave, what up?
Yes, y'all. What up? Channel 9, Mr. 9, Mr. Channel 9. What up with you? Julie Mango, what up with you? LL, what up with you? Yeah, so so I got to the party late. That was at the Libertine.
The Libertine.
So the homies, we had them on last week. STF, Sweet Touch Foundation DJs. Ricochet and Therapy. That was an event that they promoted called Rock With You, the remix party. And I found my way there. I got there pretty late. Now there was remember they were on the show and saying like there's no more tickets left. There might be a couple special tickets. I got there and I went to the door and they go, you got a ticket? I said, no. They go, well, it's a ticket only party unless you're on the guest list. I go, yeah, of course I'm on the guest list. They go, who's guest list? I go STF, Therapy, Ricochet.
All of them.
Everybody's
2 bad bros.
I'm on the whole guest list. So then they let me through and I went downstairs.
So you were clearly on the guest list. So you got in, guy.
No.
Yeah.
That got me past the bouncers. Right. So then when I got down there, then lady says, "You're on the guest list?" I said, "No." She goes, "Well, it's $25." I said, "All right, bet." I just needed to know that I could get in, really, because I thought I was gonna get turned away at the door. Oh yeah, because I even messaged you. I said, "Do you think I'm gonna be able to get in?"
Like, come on down, guy. Come on down. That was a good party, man.
But anyways, yeah. So like I said, I got there late. Maybe I had like an hour of partying or an hour and a half or so. But when the party was winding down, I was full of energy. I was like, why am I not tired? Because when people offer me drinks, I'm like, nah. I don't think I can manage. Because usually that's my thing. Like, I don't think I can manage because usually I've spent a long day and I'm tired by the time it's party time. But I'm like, why am I so energetic? I forgot. I had me this big ass nap.
You're so stupid, guy.
So I was ready to go. But anyways, it was a good time. The place was red.
Place was red.
Makes
for good photos.
The DJs remixed their things. Good vibes.
Yeah, shout out to Sweet Touch, DJ J, Che La Soul.
Bam.
There's another one of those parties coming up. They already sold out. The early bird tickets. Go get your tickets, man. The Wit Cha remix party, April 22nd. I think it's in the same spot. And this one will have featuring DJ starting from scratch as well.
Wicked.
So that should be litty in the city. It's the best I got. It's the best I got today. It's early though. It is early. Yeah, I know, Fave. It was litty. I was dancing up a storm.
Look at this hypocrite now. Look
Who?
at this hypocrite.
Which one? Oh, that's funny.
Keith stay woke, say power naps save lives.
That is hilarious.
Keith don't know about power naps. Keith stay woke.
Guy. Got your tickets today. IQ Remix. We'll see you there. Big up. All right. Well. What number is this? 87?
87.
Does anybody wear number 87?
Does Mary Lemieux wear 87?
77, guy.
How about Pittsburgh Penguins?
That's Mario Lemieux, guy. No, Crosby.
Crosby. What team does he play for?
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Okay. What number is he?
I don't think he's that.
I feel like I should not even know this answer.
Nothing. Who do we got here?
No.
Nothing, guy. Rob Gronkowski. Reggie Wayne. Tadau's in the house. Big up Tadau.
So what number is
Speaking of Pittsburgh, nobody's speaking of Pittsburgh, man. Anyways,
what number is what's it called then? Sidney Crosby.
I don't know. I don't watch that much hockey. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's 87. There you go. So is Donald Brashear, Liam O'Brien, and David Musil.
How come I know that? How come I know
David
that?
Musil? How about this one? You ready? Guess what team David Musil played for?
Is this a real question you're asking me?
Come on, you're a smart guy, man. We're talking about show. We're about to intro the show.
Okay.
So what hockey team did David Musil play for?
The Mighty Ducks?
Oh, guy, the Edmonton Oilers, guy.
Bam.
That's what the thing says. That's what the internet says. David Musil, Edmonton Oilers, guy. I would have tried to tell you to figure these things out, man.
I see what you did there.
Guy, man.
I see what you did there.
Tuesdays, guy. I'm here on Tuesdays, everybody. And I'm focused on Tuesdays.
That was slick.
Focused, right? I gotta try to make sure that I'm focused. Also, oh shit. We were debating. We thought we got it wrong. We had to make sure we got it right. This is Women's History Month, is that right?
It is.
March goes as Women's History Month. Today on the show, we have a woman who's made a lot of history. We're going to talk about it. It's great. It's dandy.
And I mean, it wasn't purposeful, but I mean, it's timely, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because that's how it works. It should just be normal, right? Just be normal.
The very last Tuesday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So hashtag timing.
I ran into this fine person at Love Language number 1, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you come on the show?" And then she looked. She's like, "I got nothing to talk about, man." And I was like, "You're a liar." I go, "Yeah, come." I go, "You stop it." I go, "You stop it. Don't tell me you got nothing to talk about. Don't tell me we can't talk to you for a little bit and figure some things out." So maybe she was just dodging me at that time. but you can do the intro, my friend.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining Pizza in the Break Room, episode 87. Today we got a very special guest. She goes by the name of DJ Mel Boogie. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about it all on the other side of this. We'll see you in a second.
We here now. We here. Yeah. It's in the break room, y'all. Holla, holla, holla. Woo!
Hey.
Well, good evening.
Hello, hello.
How you doing, man?
Good evening.
You're doing very well. Look at this. Look who you brought out. You brought out Mr. Dovey Dove. Dovey Dove in the house.
Big up, Mary Ward in the building. What up
Mary
to all
Ward
my Wolverines in the timeline?
There you go.
In the
That's
chat.
sick. That's sick. Dovey Dove, what up with you? So let me see some MWs then.
Hey, what up,
MWs
Annie?
then. Let me see some MWs in the chat.
MWW. Huh.
The M dubs.
That's wild. It seemed like it's like when you think about it, it's so long ago, but it also seems like yesterday sometimes when you're like bumping into people, chatting with people, just crossing paths. And it's funny because there's things that you take for granted, but somebody on one of the posts was like, yo, it's just pure Mary Ward people, man. Right? Paulie Lopez, right? Big up Paulie Lopez.
GT Massive.
And until you like really stand back and take a look at it, I mean, we've been blessed to have a good couple people, Mary Ward people on the show, but there's, there's a billion other Mary Ward people out there still. Ain't nobody. We got to get them all on. Everybody from Mary Ward, we can get on. We'll see how many episodes we can do. Right?
But yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Well, thanks for making the time.
Honored.
Thank you for making the time. T-Dot, that was pretty dope when you talk about the that hockey player in the jersey.
Hey, man, this is how the you guys know the retrograde, man.
Man, that was pretty slick.
So
y'all in the chat, the reason why it is slick that T-Dot came up with that randomly on the fly is because was it 2 weeks ago? About 2 weeks ago.
About that, yeah.
There was the Juno Awards. And DJ Mel Boogie was the DJ for the 50th anniversary hip hop tribute. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of Canadian artists that were paying homage to hip hop, and they did a medley of songs. So DJ Mel Boogie was the DJ. This event took place in, if I'm not mistaken, what's the province called? Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you haven't been doing any geography homework. You haven't been helping no kids with homework recently.
What's going on?
Hey man, all I did was math. All I did was math.
Your maths, okay.
But the event took place in Alberta, and in honor of popular team in that province, Mel wore Houston Oilers jersey. I mean Edmonton Oilers jersey.
Yeah.
Edmonton Oilers jersey. So when T-Dot just brought that up, he's like, you should know. I'm like, wait a second, how would I know? And then he's like, because who we have on the show and the jersey. And I was like, oh snap, that was slick. So anyways, we're gonna somehow find a picture and get that picture up of Mel Boogie wearing the Edmonton Oilers jersey. Was it a 99?
No, it was 97 because Connor McDavid, who's the captain of the team, was sitting at the table next to us. And I wanted to rep for the city, and he was right there, and he's having an insane season. And, the DJ is often, the glue of the crew and the captain, guiding the ship from behind. So it just seemed like fitting.
Wow.
Edmonton was it was an amazing experience. A lot of jokes, a lot of new connections made there. And they have a whole hip hop history there in that city that doesn't really get that shine and that love. So when I was there, I threw a little event, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But in addition to that, I wanted to make sure I repped for the city on stage because they were dope.
That was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
But usually, you know who I rep for.
Okay.
Usually. Yes. All right.
Okay.
Scarborough's not for the weak.
Yeah.
You got all the Scarborough youth them.
Yeah.
Big up.
Always.
You had to put on your costume. You couldn't show the Scarborough when you were out there. You had to put on your Edmonton costume.
He was working, guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, work. Good to go.
She could not dress in her Scarborough. She had to dress in her Edmonton.
I had to rep for the city that I was in.
That's dope. That's dope.
Darwin Patricky, big up Juice Bug.
That's dope. So how did that gig come about for you anyways?
Well, I've been DJing for a little while, so I've been trying to hold it down, you know. That whole tribute was a collaboration between Karis, which is the organization that puts together the Junos,
okay.
Advance, Gemini, who was the writer of the script, Rich Kid, who was a musical director, and of course the Rap Advisory Board of the Juno Awards, and I'm the chair of that organization. I'm the first female chair of the Rap Advisory Board. So from an organizational point of view, we work together to try and make that tribute as collaborative and as inclusive as possible. One thing I will say, like, about the performance that a lot of people watching didn't really get to peep is that even though, you know, certain names were said as part of the script and there were certain performers on stage, we had 6 minutes.
Right.
In 6 minutes, there's no way we can include everybody. But in addition to those elements, you know, there were names on the visual boards. We had pictures, trying to represent everybody from coast to coast. So, yeah, I mean, it was a collaboration. We had a very short amount of time to pull it off. And they had asked me to DJ. Just as a woman who's been in the game for a while and who's been DJing for a while, I've had the opportunity to work with most of the artists there in some capacity before this. So they were looking at me to kind of bring everything together. And me being me, I turned it down at first.
I don't know how to DJ.
Nah, not even that. It's not I don't know how to DJ. It's just I didn't want it to be about me. I wanted it to be about them and the moment and us recognizing our Canadian contributions to this thing called hip hop.
Right.
But yeah, after like battling myself, I finally said yes, and I'm glad I did, because like as a fan of hip hop and as a DJ, like it was dope to say, yo, I DJ'd for Mishi, Me, Dream Warriors, Chocolate, and Toby.
Right.
At the same damn time.
Right.
You know, in front of millions of people. So yeah, it was a dope experience for sure. But a lot of work.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Welcome in. There's a few people, sorry, that chatting for the first time. DJ Honey Flow, big up.
Hey, what up?
Good evening.
Honey Flow, what up with you?
Miss Ron C, ma'am, what up?
Hey.
Thank you for being here. Christy Ray's up in here.
Yes.
So big up to all y'all. So what, like, so you're doing that, and you're right. You know, you've been in the game all this time, and then you're at the 50-year tribute. So what is it kind of, I guess officially, what, over 2 decades you've been DJing, music part of your life throughout. What have you seen kind of over the years that's changed from, you know, what we saw back then to being able to get this tribute on the Junos? That's, you know, powerful, and it's a big message. And even for you to be in that position, like, what's the progression there that you've seen over time?
Yeah, well, this is actually a milestone year for me. This is my 30th anniversary. I've been DJing since 1993 on radio.
Come on,
radio since 1993. And before then, you know, I always hail up Agile, because Agile used to let me practice in his basement.
Big up to Agile.
Before there was Brass Monk, it was JLJ Productions. Remember that?
JLJ Productions.
Mixtapes. And he actually made me pay for a mixtape. And this is when we used to be in media class together. He made me pay for that mixtape, but I had to respect it because work was put into that to make those mixtapes. So of course you had to charge. It's a business, man.
Yeah, man. I remember that. I paid for a mixtape.
Yeah. So so shouts out to Agile, shouts out to Low Key.
Oh, come on now.
Larry.
What are you even doing with these names?
I remember just walking down the aisle and taking out the keys and just shaking on man.
So like really because of them, I really started like touching turntables because Pops had his record player, the belt driven record player, which you weren't really allowed to touch, but you did anyway. You snuck it in, and my dad had an amazing collection of records. But yeah, that love of music really started from when I was a kid and growing up listening to college radio. Of course, it was Ron Nelson, Fantastic Voyage every Saturday, CKLN. He had a huge influence on me because I've always wanted to be involved in music, but being a shy kid, I didn't want to be on the stage like that, but I wanted to be involved somehow, some way. So that definitely had an influence on me. And going back to like 1993, when I started DJing at CHRY, I did the overnight slot, like 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then I had class the next day.
Wow.
So yeah,
wow.
It was the kind of foolishness that I did just to keep DJing. Like I remember like lying to my parents just to be out there, and it was so dangerous because this is before there was like security in the buildings.
Right.
Nobody would want their girl child. I'm sorry. Nobody would want their girl child
out there time of night.
Yeah. And there was one night where I went to do the show, and it was me and another girl who was doing something like co-hosting with me. And we got up there. It was like 2-3 in the morning, and there was like 6 guys there at the station waiting for us.
Was DJ Pauly Lopez one of them?
No. No, but they were like, they were fans of the show, and they were and they just wanted to come. And I'm just like, that was like the first time I actually felt like, yo, this is not a good look right now. But like 10 minutes later, who shows up through the door? My older brother.
Okay.
And I don't know what he said, but like he regulated. And he was like, "You're never coming back here again if it's just you." Like he's like, "Nah."
Oh, okay. So he regulated you, or he regulated this
area? The whole situation.
Everything.
He said, "You stay here for a second. I'm going to talk to you guys." Like,
yeah.
So I don't know if you're ready to share, but I don't know if anybody at all knows in the chat, but she says her brother came to regulate. Would you mind sharing who your brother is?
Yeah, no, Maestro Fresh West.
So
you know what? I always assume that by now people know that he's my brother. But yeah, growing up with an older brother like that was a very unique experience, especially going to high school while your brother is at like the the very early peak of his career. Or one of the peaks of his career, I should say, because he's been able to like maintain and diversify for the past a few decades. But I
see he makes the backbone sliders now.
Yeah, when he said he was gonna be a chef, I thought he was joking. Maestro Chef West, but he's like, yeah.
See, here you go, right here.
Today
years old. See?
Yeah,
people didn't know this.
Today years old. What? I just assumed that everybody knows by now that he was my older brother.
Everybody at Mary Ward knows for sure.
Everybody at Mary Ward knows. Yeah. And the funny thing is, people who know me from back then, when he back in 1989 when he released Let Your Backbone Slide. I had back surgery that year. The worst year of my life. Yo, kids are horrible, ruthless.
So wait, the same year he releases the mega hit Let Your Backbone Slide, you have back surgery.
I had back surgery, man.
But I can't even imagine kids out there right now.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the kids.
Channel 9 in the chat. I know Channel 9 remembers them days, man.
So they tease you about that then.
Oh yeah. But you know, it helped me grow a thick skin, and probably part of the reason why people don't know he's my brother is because I really made an effort to be independent and self-sufficient and make sure that any type of success or achievements that I got were on my own merit and not because of who I was related to or married to or whatever. Like it was like I roll solo.
This
like
is me.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah. But I digress a little bit. You were asking me about like what are some of the like main differences between like when I started and now, and definitely like the presence of women in different areas of the industry. Women have always carried the industry as far as like either as fans, purchasing tickets, purchasing albums, sometimes, you know, being the organizers behind the scenes at labels, like the publicists,
right.
The people who bring things together and kind of multitask to make things happen and to make the artists look amazing and bright and shiny. The radio hosts, you know, there's always been a handful of female DJs, but you're seeing more and more of that now, which is amazing, because back when I was coming up, there were none. There were next to none, I should say, next to none. Very, very few. And out of the few that were around when I started, a lot of them aren't around now. But you definitely see like more women even behind the camera when it comes to directing videos, which you didn't see a lot of back in the day. So I'm really happy to see that young women coming up can see themselves in different areas, whether it's behind the camera, holding the mic, behind the turntables, whatever it might be. So that's a huge change that I hope I've been able to contribute to somehow.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And cheers to that.
Cheers to
okay,
that.
You poured out already.
Big up everybody in the chat.
Yes.
Everybody put a glass in the chat. Everybody put a glass in the chat. Cheers with us.
Could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
Tabanca. All right.
DJ Ron C, what up with you?
So who would you say, I guess, within Toronto, we'll start there, or influenced you kind of the most? It helped you, pushed you, inspired you to kind of get where you are today?
Definitely seeing like a lot of different artists and DJs out there. Like I already mentioned Ron Nelson, he was a big one. Mastermind, another big one. Starting from scratch. Hello. You know what I'm saying? Scratch. And as far as artists, like the list is so long. Like I mentioned Mishi, and I remember seeing like Jamaican Funk, the video for the first time. And like, she was like unapologetically Jamaican, like the fruit earrings and the dance hall queen outfit. And yeah, like just seeing somebody that looked like you on TV was huge. Master T and just everything that he was able to do, not just for Toronto, but that was like a national show. And that was like the first introduction of hip hop to a lot of people.
Big shout to Master T and Roxy for sure.
Yes. Mike Williams too. Michael Williams. He doesn't get enough props. He doesn't get enough props for what he did. And Namageni, like there are so many names and so many stories. Like it's I think it's up to us. When I say us, I mean our generation to make sure that it's documented for the next generation coming up, because
Right.
I think everything is almost so accessible that there's no desire to find anything. Like we didn't have no Google.
Right.
You know, we had to like research stuff back in the day. If you wanted to see who's Gangstar, I like this new track from Gangstar. Who's Gangstar? You had to research who they were and all this Premier and all this Guru, and they're connected to this person, that person, blah blah blah. And it's like everything is like so accessible now. Like there's no liner notes.
Research wasn't, like you said, it wasn't through Google.
No.
Right.
And that information wasn't on microfiche.
Microfiche.
Right?
You can even find a book on it.
Right. So now you had to be actually entrenched in the culture, right? So we're talking about either watching videos, and if you're not getting that information from videos, now you're buying the magazines.
Yes.
Like the literature. Yeah. That's where you're getting. That's where you're doing your research, right?
Exactly.
So you're fully like immersed, and you're spending, and you're like investing in the culture.
Yeah. 100%. So yeah, I think that's kind of missing from the culture nowadays. And I think if we don't document these stories, they'll be lost, or somebody else can take over the narrative and shift the story in their favor. You know what I'm saying? So
me looking from the outside, and I think finally some of this stuff is happening, right? Like I know, for you, you're in it, you're understanding, but just as somebody, like as a fan and seeing it the way that I've seen it, like it's good for this stuff to happen. But I also, as I get older, I think like when I go out, like our generation, you're right, is still probably the most impactful generation to be able to push things through and remind people, because oh man, we got a good little generation, we people right here. So good for us. Good for us. It's crazy. Anyways.
No, it's true. I guess what you're saying, because our generation.
No, but
for real.
Look at us.
Yes, man. But because you can see it, like we've seen this whole story, right? So no matter, you're embedded in it, I'm watching it, from the outside, and it's just been the culture change, especially just, if we talk about Toronto in general, to see how the industry's changed, to see how just the atmosphere, and, there is something to people needing to support each other a little bit more. But when I talk about our generation, like what I'm seeing now with people around our age is just the sharing of, like, you being on here, the people that I'm meeting now that have been, like I'm meeting Paulie Lopez. I'm like, holy shit, I met Paulie Lopez, you know what I'm saying? Right? Like I didn't know Paulie Lopez back in the day, but these are like legendary stories that we're all putting together now. So I see it here between us. Yeah. Is I guess kind of what I'm trying to say. So good for us. That's everybody gets the slow clap.
Everybody gets the slow clap.
Everybody gets the slow clap.
I love that, because like you mentioned Paulie Lopez, and I like Paulie Lopez is like just one of those legendary names that like you see everywhere, and he's like this mythical creature, this mythical DJ that has like so much respect, and then like you meet him and you're like, yo, guy, that's Paulie Lopez. Yeah. And then you find out he's Guyanese on top of it.
and he's skanking in the middle of the cook. Because I was like, what's a Paulie Lopez? I didn't know what a Paulie Lopez was until a few years ago, right? Like, what's a Paulie Lopez?
Shouts out to Paul.
Shouts out to Paulie.
Big shouts out to Paul. Paul is good energy, man.
Yeah.
And Paul shared some good stories with us when he was on the show the other day.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And he also shared some late night radio hosting stories as well.
Yeah. I have like I don't have those kind of stories, I think, but like that was definitely like a pivotal time for me. And shouts out to DJ Manifest, because without DJ Manifest I probably wouldn't still be doing radio, because part 2 of my brother's threat that if I didn't find somebody to do the show with me, that he wouldn't allow me to go back. That Thursday at Tracks, I bumped into Manifest.
Oh,
and we started doing a show together.
That's how that manifests.
That's how it manifested. Fested. Yes.
Wow. See?
Yeah.
Retrograde.
We used to go to church together back in the day.
Yeah.
Sweets.
Oh yeah.
Big up sweets.
Okay, so you did that show with Manifest. Now you do Vibe 105, right? And you had a partner.
Yep.
You know this guy?
I know that guy.
You know this guy?
I know that guy very well. Man, like Channel 9.
A brother to the show.
Yeah.
A brother to the show.
I didn't know you guys were doing like surprise reveals and all that.
What's up, baby?
Channel 9.
How you doing, Mel?
Show. How you mean?
Hey, Mel is my girl from time, like high school, talking grade 9. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How far back?
Yeah, you know, right from.
Oh, he's gonna pull it up. I knew it.
Like this one.
Oh, hold that picture right there. You gotta Yikes. Yes.
Wow.
Way back. Day ones, man. Day ones.
Am I echoing?
Yeah, I think it might be. You good now?
Yes.
There you go.
Hold on, let me turn down my thing. But yeah.
No, you're good now.
Cool. But I just want to say, Mel, it's been great. So just for you guys know, Studio B, the original name was coming from Mel. So when you hear Studio B, that was the radio show. So when we went into Twitch, I was like, Mel, I'm gonna be doing this thing online. I want to use the Studio B name. I want to use the Studio B name as opposed to using the old radio show. And Mel, of course, gave the blessing and said, yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? We'll have the Studio B here and we'll have Studio B there. So all Studio B is because of Mel. So just want everyone to know that. That's it. We were doing the radio station. And Mel's the only one that got me out of retirement to do the radio station back again. She was the only one that got me out of there.
Yeah.
So you know,
share, please.
I was done with radio. I was done. And Mel gave me the call and said, yo, I'm here because Mel had a whole bunch of DJs in and out there, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she just gave the call and said, Steve, I need you here. And I said, okay. Honestly, I was like, let me get back to you on that. I was done. I was done with radio. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I did the 18 years and I was trying to get to 20. And I was like, I couldn't get it. CKLN was having too many problems, right? So I was done. Honestly, I was done DJing. I was done with the radio. I was fully done with radio. So you know, Mel said, all right, and I came back and yeah, we did the Studio B. She jumped me in there and it was amazing. Great times. Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't know is the college radio stations, it's all volunteer. So basically you're dedicating hours, weeks, years on a voluntary basis.
But not just that, finances, right?
Finances, because you gotta buy those records.
You gotta buy the work. You gotta buy the records. Yeah,
you gotta buy the records, and again, going back to research, you gotta, research who you're playing, and if you're a true DJ, you want to be able to break records and support those emerging artists, and take the listeners on a journey, and give them some education while you're at it. So
you gotta educate them for sure.
Yeah, you gotta educate them now. And yeah, channel that like was a very, very fun period. Rocking with you. So yeah, I'm glad you answered the bat signal. When I put the bat signal up.
it was second nature. It was really just second nature for me to do it, right? I just had to think about it if I was really ready. But because it was Mel, I think it was someone else, I may have said, yeah, nah, B. But because it was Mel, it was good. And as I was saying, our stories are it's crazy how our stories are kind of the same, not as much because we both had family in the industry. So, and me and Mel were the DJ part of it. So, the other sides of the family were all the MCs, but me and Mel were the DJ side. So it just all connected, right?
Yeah.
And it was even good then when our brothers were doing records together, and I was like, yo, man, we're DJs, right? So we're just all connected, me and Mel. It was just inseparable, which we still are. We still are. It's just, Mel can call me anytime. Yo, Steve, I need this. No problem. I got you. Got you, girl.
Like back in the day, talking about music in the back of the class, and we're supposed to be paying attention.
Right.
But we're talking about whose album is the best, and lyrics, and who got better lyrics, and this, that, and the other, who got better beats, and all of that. So yeah.
We've
been talking about this stuff from time.
I didn't know that you were into that stuff back then.
Of course.
I honestly, I didn't know.
No work was getting done. No work was getting done in Mary Ward, man.
I'll tell you how I found out.
Was getting done.
I'll tell you how I found out that you were a DJ.
All right.
I'm with Raymond one day. Ray Mac. Right?
Yes.
And
you got to Ray Mac.
In his his previous position where he was, servicing records, with his position at Universal. Mm-hmm. I'm driving with him because we used to like hang like this regular, right? So we're driving. He's like, I'm heading to Mel's house to go drop off some records. I said, Mel, who? Like who? Like he said, Mel. Like I know Mel.
Yeah.
Right. Like I know the female DJ Mel.
Yeah.
He goes, you know Mel? What are you talking? We went to school with her. What are we talking about? And then he said you, and I was like, she DJs? He goes, where you been, bro?
Yeah.
He's a big DJ. And I didn't know. And then he said, I guess your husband as well?
Yep. We met because he used to DJ at CHRY. That's how we met. So I got married and doubled my record collection in one shot.
Oh,
that's Scarborough Things, right? Scarborough Things.
Yay.
That was heavy. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, no, Dexter, he had a show at CHRY, and he also ran a music promo company called Soul Choice Record Pool. So he serviced a lot of the big DJs back in the day.
Was that like Soul Choice? Like, so of all, how as technology has come along, so I have a podcast, a reggae podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Choice Reggae Podcast, and whenever it's like, whenever I have a party, whenever I have, this thing is like from 2003, right? When I have a party, I just play this whenever I want to hear some reggae. So I'm sorry, that was just random. When you said Soul Choice, I didn't know that, and I'm like, yo, best Soul Choice mix. I'm gonna post that.
Yeah.
from 20 years, you can play it anytime and just pump up the jam. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Oh man, Channel 9. Look at you. What do you remember from Mary Ward them times? Because you guys were both around. Like, it's all this music that we're talking about now. When we talk about all the different people and the people, like, what do you guys remember from like all this inception times? Like cafeteria. You guys remember
the cafegimatorium? That was the name. It was the Cafegimatorium. Right?
So, like for those who didn't go to Mary Ward, like before it was a building, we had portables. So all the classes were in portables. And then once the building was finally built at was it Kennedy and McNichol?
McNichol, yeah.
Yeah, they had just one big room called the
Cafegimatorium.
Cafegimatorium. So it was the auditorium, the gym, at the cafeteria.
Right. The Cafegimatorium, man. You cannot forget that. Dominoes, everything, all in one. All in one thing, man. So it was amazing. Like being in there, just coming out of Mary Ward with so many DJs, MCs, it was breakers, everybody, ball players, you know what I mean? It was just there was always something going on. Always something.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Imagine we had Instagram guy back then, guy. We'd be like,
I'm glad they didn't have no Instagram back then.
You know who I forgot went to Mary Ward as well?
Sorry?
Natural African black man, bless.
Yeah, blessed.
Mm.
At that time, it was PITB.
Empress.
Yeah.
PITB, man.
PITB.
Yeah,
I forgot that blessed went to my words.
Wow. Big time, man.
Yeah,
what's wrong with that school? How come that school just made pure?
And it was like in such a like a pocket of time. Like it was like over like 4 or 5 years. The people that we're talking about went to that school, and that's you know what I mean. It was just this big one-time thing happened in the universe.
Yeah, brass monk.
Big brass.
Big brass.
So no architects, no
architects, no doctor, no lawyer.
But there probably is too, man. Find it, bring them on, right? You know what I'm saying? There are a couple. There's probably somebody. Some sort of.
Yeah, we had a lot of DJs. I mean, like look at Agile's out of there, Jason Hodges.
Right.
Hodges house dude Hodges, which I gave him the name. So I'm putting that on record. That was the name I gave him. All right.
You gave him Hodges?
I want my credit for that name I gave him. So
Daryl.
Dove. Mary Ward was good. But you know, I don't want to take away from Mel. Mel has to tell her thing. I just wanted to say, look, Mel, love you. And you know, a lot of people probably didn't know about the whole Studio B, how it came about. So I had to make sure I let everybody know that's what it was. So we had Studio B on 5105, and then we had Studio B on Twitch. So it was just with that Studio B was taking over all over the place, which is still moving. It's still moving. So you guys know I'm gonna have Mel come over, and we're gonna do the Monday show together. It's gonna be we used to do the Sundays together. We used to do the Sunday show, so we'll have her back on the Monday, and it's gonna be great. Mel knows, she knows where I live. She just comes over.
You'll get a text. Mel
brings me vegetables out of her garden. Right, so that's how you know it's family. Mel brings me vegetables out of the garden.
Yeah,
so this is where me and Mel are at. This is like from like I didn't even know 30 plus years we've been together.
Wow.
So love you, girl. Love you.
Love you back.
With
Thank
no
you for coming,
apology.
man.
I love you so much. That's
me.
Some nines in the chat, yo.
I like DJ Channel 9.
Some nines in the chat, y'all. Some nines in the chat.
All right, I'm gonna fall back. I want to make sure everyone hears your story and stuff. I don't want to about me. So love you, girl. Love you guys. Mary Ward in the house. I'll see you guys on there. I'm gonna be in the chat. All right.
Big up, yo.
Right.
Take care, brother. Wicked.
Like Channel
Mary
9,
Ward.
boy.
Big up. DJ Switch. First time chatter. Big up.
Hey.
All right. Whew. This is fun. Mel, so you're a DJ, but then you're also, radio host, producer. All right. How does your approach to those things differ, or does your approach to those things differ? Or what's different about them, I guess, from your perspective?
I don't think there's like much of a difference in my approach. Like my thing is, whatever it is I put my mind to and whatever I focus on and put my time on, I want to be the best. And sometimes that's to my own detriment that I'm overly analytical because I'm a perfectionist. If you've worked with me before, you know what it is. And sometimes it can be a little bit much for people that I work with, but I know what it is that I want to achieve and put out. And that's why it's kind of funny when people say, yeah, you're legendary, you're this and you're that. But to me, in my mind, like I'm just at the beginning. I haven't even scratched the surface of what I want to achieve yet. And I've been holding back because, I'm a mom and I've been focusing on, my family and that kind of thing, but they're older now, so they don't need me as much. And that allowed me to do stuff that I've always wanted to do, like go on tour and, just go away and focus on music and that kind of thing. So, at the end of the day, like whether it's being creative as far as music is concerned, or on the PR side, trying to support an artist or trying to organize something that would support the culture, like whatever it is, I try to be focused and make sure it's the best it could possibly be.
You said tour. Have you done tours?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to DJ across the country. touring with a few artists, but my biggest cross country tour was with the sorority. And that was a dope experience because those MCs are some of the hardest working, most talented, most focused artists that I've ever had the opportunity and privilege of performing with. Like, we came off the plane in Vancouver and went straight to rehearsals. You know, like when you, after a show, you want to go party, you want to go relax.
Right.
So there was some of that, of course, but as MCs and as artists, they were so focused and dedicated to practicing. So that really taught me a lot about how you have to, plan your work so you can work your plan, and you have to be prepared.
Say that one more time. Plan your work.
You have to plan your work so you can work your plan.
Message.
Message. Yeah.
Message. DJ Pauly Lopez says, was that tour like in 2016?
Yeah, 2016 to 2019 we ended it. Yeah, so when the group broke up officially, the tours stopped, but like they're still cool and they still do their thing and they're pursuing their own individual goals. Like Havaya is doing her thing. Lex Leosis was just in South by Southwest. Keisha Fresh was Juno nominated, and she was at the Junos as well. So they're all doing so amazing. And shouts out to Phoenix too, who was one of the original members of the sorority. So
okay,
they're all dope.
So you said Havaya, right?
Mm-hmm.
She performed at the Junos.
Yep, she was the narrator for the tribute.
It was her and Cardi, right?
Correct.
Wicked. And then you say Phoenix. Phoenix was on one of your projects?
Phoenix was on a project that I did, yeah. A few years ago, I released a compilation album, which was an all-female compilation album. And yeah, she was one of the artists on it. Havaya was on it as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel a ... like something's coming.
There's no ...
You gotta watch out for all the time.
There's no ... It's just that
there's a lot.
I know that you said something, like you said Phoenix, and then it just resonated at Phoenix and Eternia.
Yes.
What was that project called? What was that song called?
So the overall project was called Life. And the reason I called it that, it was I was a producer on it along with Big Sprox, and we had Tone Mason give beats. We had beats from Merciless.
Madness.
And all of the vocalists were female. And it's just, I called it Life because life is a journey. It could be great. It could be challenging. It's ups and downs, but I feel as, women, we give life. And it had a picture of the Ankh on the cover, and that symbolized that whole thing. So yeah, and the song that Phoenix and Eternia were on is called Giants, produced by Merciless.
Right.
Yeah, we did a little video. I did a little video shoot,
Big. So what inspired you? Like, how did you get to say, okay, I'm gonna do a project. I'm gonna get all these women together. And how did you gather them? Like, how did you, how did you just curate the whole thing?
Basically, I wanted to do something that involved people that I respected and that I wanted to work with. This was a new kind of adventure and lane for me, and I totally empathize and appreciate producers in general more than ever, because it's like I really respect the RZA, because I don't know how he managed to wrangle all of Wu-Tang, because that must have been like wrangling cats. You know what I mean? How you get them all to cooperate, like, and it's not even like the artists that I worked with didn't get along. That's not it. It's just that everybody had different schedules and different commitments, and you had trying to get them in the studio, and you're trying to send the beats that they like, and then they got to write to it, and then they got to record it, and it's just like so many layers. Like producing an album is really like having a kid, because you put so much time, blood, sweat, and tears into it. And even though you know, it's something that's so close to you, like your own painting that you created from scratch. It's something that you got to release to the world. And it could be a chance that people will tear it apart, but there could be a chance that people will love it too and be able to relate to it. So I totally understand what artists go through from that side. And then to have as an artist, it really showed me too how important it is for the community to support them and have DJs support your music and have, you know, your fans support your stuff, not just by like reposting is one thing, but like buying and streaming is important too. Like there's different ways we can support the artists that are out there, especially in Canada where there isn't a lot of infrastructure to support them, period. You know, so every little bit of support makes a difference.
That's big. That's for sure. That's for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like that. I mean, just seeing the journey is pretty cool, I think. So you've spoken about a lot of artists that you've interacted with, collaborated with. Like what's the thing that you've learned most just through doing all that? Like what's it brought to you, all these experiences, you know, at this point, when you look back, what is it that you know, put that in a that big ball in a let me see what that looks like. What does that look like to you?
It might sound a little bit corny, but treat people how you want to be treated. People might not always remember what you say to them, but they'll remember how you made them feel at that time. I have people from like 20-25 years ago who had, you know, like a very small interaction with me, or they came on the radio show, and you guys know you don't always remember everything that you say when you're on the show because you're so busy focused on making sure that you're putting out the product and everything is laid out just right and the music hits when it's supposed to. But I've had people come to me and say, yo, you were like my first radio interview. And I remember being so nervous, but you made me feel comfortable, you know? And it's stuff like that. Like I sometimes don't remember because we've had so many people go through the station doors, but they remember how you made them feel. Yeah. And you never know when you're going to be in a position where, you know, the roles are switched and you might have to ask somebody to help you. But like, just treat people the way you want to be treated, period.
Whose song is that?
Treat them like they want to be.
The microphone.
Are we doing that? I said we could do it.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a question from the chat.
Okay.
We got a question from the chat, and this is from DJ Paulie Lopez. He asks, where did he ask? He says, what's Mel's go-to party rockin' track?
I have a few. It depends on what kind of vibe I'm in. But when it comes to hip hop, like one of my favorites from time that like I told my kids I want to play it at my funeral no matter how old I am. The Anti-Up remix with Busta Rhymes. I want that played. That is my joint. Like no matter, like if I'm going into an interview or if I gotta go cuss somebody or if I need a pick me up, that song just gets me. It just gets me amped. It gets me amped.
What's the rounds now?
Yeah.
MLP
Now, what you want now? What you? Yeah, like it's just,
oh man.
And the thing is, like I'll listen to it before I go into the office, and like I'm pretty conservative the way I dress for work, and all you see if you look at me in the car is. And then I come out, my blazer, and then go do what I gotta do.
Yeah, right. All right. So what's your guilty pleasure genre then? So if you just what do you got there?
Well, you know what? I'm a kid who I had an amazing time with 90s hip hop. But before then, 80s rock and roll, man. Because I was around before much music was, on TV and we had videos readily playing on TV. My kids go, "Yeah, you were born in the 1900s?" Yeah. First of all, how dare you? But at the same time, yes. At the same time, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I remember, they had some. You're laughing, eh? They had Chum Top 30, and they had a show called Toronto Rocks that used to come on City TV after school. And they used to show videos, and that's the first place I saw Walk This Way and Thriller, the Thriller video that I knew the dance moves inside and out. And I would do it with, the video. Yes, exactly. But in addition to that, I mean, there was Bryan Adams and Aerosmith, and there were so many so many classic Joan Jett, like so many classic rock and roll joints that are still bangers. I don't care what anybody says.
You know who my favorite rock and roll group was?
Who?
And who my favorite rock and roll song was?
Let me hear this.
What are you gonna do with your life? I want to rock. I want to
rock. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep. Yeah, and then, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, people think that Black people don't like rock and roll music, but we invented it. Number one. Number two, it's music. If you're a lover of music, you love music. Twisted Sister, exactly. Exactly. And the funny thing is too, I grew up playing piano. I'm a classically trained pianist. I taught piano for about 16 years with the Royal Conservatory of Music.
What?
I don't play anymore, but
you should have put on your good shirt like me, guys.
Like I have my back, right?
I have my bow tie on,
and I have a guitar, and
you can play the guitar too.
I very, very rudimentary chords. Like it's bad. like I can't even do that in public. But I want to get better, and practice makes perfect. But yeah, so guilty pleasures probably rock, 80s rock.
We have a question from the chat from Mrs. Ron C. It says, what is a lesson that took you the longest to learn?
It's something that I'm kind of learning right now. And I've had a few people tell me this over the years, but there's a difference between humility and stupidity. You can be humble, but being humble doesn't mean that people can walk all over you, and you have to people take you for fool. And sometimes you have to regulate. Sometimes you have to be 10 toes down and show people another side of you so they understand that you can't be fucked with. So, as nice as I am and as loving and nurturing as I am, there is that other side of me that, when it comes out, and what kind of side comes out, it comes out sometimes and people don't know what to do with themselves, but it's something that has to be done sometimes. So basically, teaching people boundaries and telling people no sometimes is something that you have to do. So learning to say no is something that I'm learning right now. Because you can be in service to the community without having to do everything for everybody. Because if you can't pour from an empty cup,
Thank you, teacher.
So definitely I've told my children, you know, and I say to everybody that, you know, it's wonderful to be in service to your community and be a mentor and all of that, but you have to make time for yourself. And as sometimes as parents, as women, as moms, you kind of feel guilty sometimes making time for yourself, but you have to. Like, that's part of self-care, and you can't care for other people if you're, you know, deteriorating. So that's probably the biggest lesson and the most recent lesson I've learned. Sometimes you got to regulate.
Wise words from Mel Boogie. Watch out, Deepak Chopra. Watch out. What's his name? What's the other guy's name?
The book soon come. The book soon come.
What's the other guy's name?
Which guy?
Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty. Which one? I know what you're talking about. Sadhguru.
Watch out, Jack Handy.
Who's the guy that paints? Who's the guy that paints?
Oh, that's
Bob.
Bob.
Somebody in the chat is gonna know for sure.
Bob.
Everyone's gonna hit it.
Bob. I see him. I can see him.
Bob Ross. There you go.
Bob
Thank you.
Ross,
There we go. Oh, almost missed that one. Thank you, chat. You guys always got us. Big up to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, everybody in the chat. Could be anywhere in the world, but you is here with us. I'm supposed to say that a couple of times a show. We get like a quarter every time we say it, so it's dope. It is dope. Oh my God, what do you? So you sound pretty busy, right? You sound like you do think you got a lot going on, which is cool. How do you relax, Mel? Like, what's your? How do you pull yourself back a little bit? What's your thing?
I'm learning what that is, because as much as I love music, it's to a degree it's also work, and it's also physically draining. Like, you guys were talking about Yush at the top of the show, and how you can't go out 2 nights in a row and you have to take a nap first and all kind of thing. And
yeah, can't stay woke like
you can't stay woke. You can't stay woke like he. But I definitely feel that. One thing that I discovered over the pandemic is gardening. I never thought I'd love that. I thought that was like bare old lady stuff, but health is wealth, for real. Health is wealth. And Channel 9 said, you know, I bring them vegetables from my garden. Like, that's a real flex. Like, going out to your garden at lunchtime and saying, yo, I feel like having this, and this, picking it and cooking it. That's a big flex still. That's a big flex. You know, so that's something that I kind of want to do more of. And it's relaxing. It's good for you. It's something that's needed. It's economical. And yeah, I think more people should do it. Like, if you have the space to do it, like, you should definitely grow your own food to eat, period. Because you don't know what they're putting in there, what they're spraying and stuff. And yeah. And with lettuce being $8.99 for a head of lettuce, you mad? Come on, man. Come on.
It's so true. It's wild.
But yeah, gardening.
I don't have much of a green thumb. I'm not handy, and I don't have much of a green thumb.
You know what? I didn't think so. I didn't think that I did either. And I don't like bugs, right? Yes, of course, the weary peppers, and I had my own Scotch bonnet. I grow my own fine thyme and my own basil. See how the accent comes out when I started talking about the food that I grow?
Yeah, I was just like, all right, well,
what happened?
You just back up.
Yeah, but
so are you a good cook?
I mean,
are you a quarterback in the kitchen, DJ in the kitchen?
You know what? I think I'm okay. My kids love my cooking, but they one thing I did like about the pandemic is that I was definitely cooking every single day. I didn't realize, like, because of that busy lifestyle, how much like takeout we were getting and how much, shortcuts we were doing to feed the family. But like, I started cooking for them every single day, and they got used to that good loving. And my son was like, yeah, that was like one of the best parts of lockdown, because you were cooking all the time. He's like, I could tell that you really cook the food with love. He's like, now you're getting back to like being in a rush, and it's just like here. I said, first of all, rude, but he's not wrong. So
wow.
yeah, but they're big enough to like cook themselves. So I'm just trying to get them to cook for themselves, and enjoy that part of being alive and being an adult.
Okay, so if you don't have to cook and your husband says, put on your clothes, we're going out to eat, where are you going?
Have you met Dexter Langley?
What does that even mean?
Dexter's a real Trini.
You're not going out? Is that
we don't go out? No.
All right.
But, like for birthdays and like that kind of thing, like special celebrations, stuff like Red Lobster and the Keg, that's like fine dining.
Okay.
But when I go out with like the girlfriends, that's when we try like new restaurants like Bukan, and we go to Ethiopian restaurants. And
where's the Ethiopian restaurant you've been to?
We went to one on Danforth. I can't.
Deja Vu. No. It wasn't Deja Vu.
It wasn't Deja Vu.
I know which one you went to. It's the new one. It's kind of like white on the inside with plants all over the place.
Yeah, there's a lot of plants.
It's down the street from Deja Vu.
It was good because that's the first time I had.
Not Deja Vu. Sorry, Rendezvous. That's what I meant.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really, really good.
I need to go there. Like I go to the Ethiopian restaurant just down the street, a little bit down the street. As a matter of fact, I had that last night.
Yeah.
I had it last
night. That's how good it is. He had it last night.
I got all excited, man.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
No, we can tell.
Yo, you don't even know how to eat Ethiopian food. Nice.
Yeah.
We can tell, man, how excited you are about it.
I actually had it last night, to tell you the truth.
How was it?
I've been meaning to try that place though. The one you're talking about.
It was really good. Like I'm the type of person who I'm into presentation. I like my food to like be put together a certain way because it means that you put care into it before you served it to me. And it was just beautifully laid out. And I've never tried the injera bread, so I wasn't prepared for that. But I was like, okay, it's a little different. But once you get over it, it's like this is just like a routine. You just ting the ting and just eat the ting. And it's good.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Sure.
But yeah, no, I love trying new foods, and new restaurants. So yeah. That's the girls' trip kind of flex. Oh, Ethiopian coffee. We didn't get to try the Ethiopian coffee because we were taking so long and talking and eating and talking and eating. Like we shut the place down. So we got to go back and get some of that Ethiopian coffee.
See, you just mentioned the girls flex type of thing. Getting away from the coffee and stuff. So or just the women influences or people you'd want to shout out just straight up from that perspective that are big influences in the city, influences in an industry that are just we need to hear about or that have had a big impact on you, just women specific.
There's quite a few, like from people like Ebony Rowe, who's the founder of Honey Jam. Honey Jam has been around for almost 30 years, and I've been DJing since 95 with them, since it started. Yeah, since it started. I only missed one, and that's because I gave birth to my daughter like 2 days before.
She's so selfish, that girl.
I know. I tell her all the time. So shouts out to Ebony Rowe Like Eternia, I've always loved Eternia. She's a dope MC and a dope mom. Like I see, and it's strange because a lot of these artists that I've worked with, I've seen their evolution not just as artists but as, you know,
people
becoming grown-ups. Yeah.
Human
Like
beings, yeah.
Human beings. Like even you guys, I still, in my mind's eye, I still remember you in the Mary Ward uniform. So when you talk about your little boy and your little one and your kids and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, we're grown up still, you know?
Yeah.
Who else is there? There's people like behind the scenes, like Aisha Wickham, who is part of Ontario Creates, and she just has like this calm, influential presence. That's, you know, she's just a G who's just respected, period, in the industry. Denise Donlin from Much Music Days. Like there's a lot of different women in different areas of the industry that I admire.
Thank you for that.
No, thank you for that.
On the spot a little bit, but
thank you for that. There's a lot of insight you just bestowed upon us just a while ago. No, for real, because now like bare research I'm gonna do after this.
Yeah,
all them names you just said. No, thank you for that.
Where's the pizza at? Are you guys serving pizza too, or is it just drinks?
We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk. Okay. All right.
Okay. This I want to ask you.
Okay.
So earlier you're talking about how you had to put together your album, right? You're saying that there was like an effort that it took, a concerted effort that it took to wrangle all the people together, and you referenced RZA. You're like it must have been crazy to get these guys together.
Yeah.
Right. I actually watched I think it was like the last episode of have you ever watched that series, the Wu-Tang American Saga?
Yeah.
And the very last episode was kind of like that, like him like having to work on a project and like cannot get the guys together. Everybody has to do something different because now they're becoming big stars and they're getting pulled in different directions by their different labels. Anyways, just because you mentioned Wu-Tang made me think of a Wu-Tang member that you did work with. How did that come about? Who's the artist? How did it come about? And what did you have to do for him?
So it was Ghostface Killa. He was working on a project in Canada, similar to Canada's Got Talent, but for hip hop.
Oh.
And it was very early. It ended up not happening, as you can probably guess, or else you would have heard about it. But the overall experience of working with a legend like that was phenomenal. And just setting up his media interviews, just being organized and being doing PR for somebody at that level. He was like, yeah, you did a good job, and like you had me busy. Like I saw him like 2 years later. We actually did a show together, and he was like, yo, Mel Boogie. He's like, I remember you. He's like, yeah, that was a busy day. I was like, yeah, I do what I do. And, you said you need an interview. So I went to works. Exactly. Tony Stark's. And it was good. Like it was a really cool experience. And it was a lot of work, but it was definitely cool. Like a lot of people too, speaking of things that people don't know that I do publicity.
Okay.
And that's what I did for him. So setting up media interviews and writing press releases and taking them all around the city to be interviewed. But again, that was just like something that I started doing because there was a bit of a gap in the industry and people artists would come to the radio show back in the day and they wouldn't have a bio or they wouldn't have a press kit. So I started doing stuff for people, and I peace Honey Flow.
Big up Honey Flow. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, filling a gap, and that's something that anybody can do. If you see that there's a gap or a niche that, you know, you might be good at, like I was good at writing and you know, bringing people together. So that's kind of how that happened. And because of that, I was able to do publicity for Caravana for a couple of years. Like I was really blessed by word of mouth to be able to work with a whole bunch of different people. So yeah, if you see a lane that you want to pursue, then the only person stopping you really is you.
Oh my gosh, he's coming with the gems. Sadhguru, get the book. Mel Guru.
Done. Sign it up. Lock it up. For real. You can put together a collaboration, dream collabs. Give us a couple of artists that are in your. You can blank just anybody I want.
You know what? Honestly, I'd have to think about that one, because putting out a compilation album was like, it was so strenuous, like emotionally and physically. It's just like, I'd have to think about like who would be on volume 2 kind of thing. I'd really have to think about that one. Who would be on yours? Like, who would you want to see on a collaboration, on a dream collaboration?
Well, I got my answer already.
Okay.
My answer comes from if I ever won millions of dollars, I'm putting on a free concert.
Yes.
And in this free concert, we're having KRS-One.
Hey.
We're having Corrupt.
Okay.
And we're having Cannabis.
Oh, okay.
Now, those aren't my favorite MCs, but that's a collaboration I would love to see.
Okay.
KRS-One, Corrupt, and Cannabis.
Okay. T-Dot.
Jeez, man. Oh, everything starts with Jay-Z. Jay-Z'd have to be there. Some sort of Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Man. I like to see Snoop. I like to see Snoop in concert. If I'm building a concert, I like to see a little bit of Snoop in concert. And I've seen Kanye in concert, so I'd want to see Kanye in concert again too, or collaborate, or see something to work with him. Because all things being equal, he's just a musical genius. So something good's going to come out of that perspective. I know that there's a whole other side of Kanye, but he's just musical.
So who did you just say? So you said Jay-Z, Snoop, and Kanye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
I know.
So who do you like now then?
What happened?
Oh, just about to try to find out who she likes now, but it might not be the time.
Yeah, it's 10:59.
Oh.
You can't count, guy?
Okay.
Where's Mr. Bronstein? Ask your question.
So which artist
Yes.
I was nervous for you.
Thank you. Don't mind us.
Which artist do you like now then? Of the new crop of artists.
I mean, there's a few artists, like not counting who I've already worked with. Like obviously I like Keisha Fresh and Havaya and Lex. I love Charmaine.
Okay.
Tia Banks from Toronto. Toby killed it at the Junos. I liked him before, so like him even more. Seeing him perform live on that type of platform. Sean Leon is dope. Denise Dion, who's about to release an album this coming Friday. She's dope. If you haven't had a chance to check her out, check her out.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of up and coming artists that I think have the potential to make a lot of waves and get a lot of attention. And I'm not saying that I don't like people like Nav or whoever. Like he's not an up and coming artist. Like he has like a ton of followers. Like he's not an American artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's established, right? But I think again, it kind of goes back to like getting that support and trying to build an infrastructure for.
I feel you. That's commendable for sure.
Yeah, it's and it's not a matter of just relying on streams and that sort of thing. Like the support has to be tangible, and that means like when they have a show, go out and support them at the show.
Right.
Yeah.
They're selling something, go out and buy it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Oh man, hang on a second.
Speaking about that,
that boy Jers here, he got a subscription. M. Lewis is up in the place, and then Mr. GQ Love popped in the place, dropped some bits.
Thank you very much, Mr. GQ Love, for 200.
Big up, everybody.
Thank you, that boy Jer, for the subscription. Thank you, M. Lewis, 416, the VDJ, for the bits. Much appreciated. Thank y'all. It is very much appreciated.
Them bits.
You know about them bits?
Yeah.
Thank y'all for the bits.
80 bits, big bits, all the bits. What's next for Mel Boogie? Tell us. Or what can you tell us? Maybe some.
Can I tell you?
Private and confidential, like, and NDAs and stuff. What can you tell us? What's next for Mel Boogie?
Well, one thing that I've been working on for the past couple of years, just within the role of being involved with the Junos, I worked on something called the Black Music Brunch. Last year, it was meant to pay homage and recognize some of the pioneers and some of the previous Juno nominees and those who should have gotten a Juno nomination. That was a collaborative effort with the rap committee and our sponsors. And we took it to Edmonton this year, where the Junos were this year, and we did the same. And it's, something elevated where, a Black chef prepares an amazing spread, and we celebrate and pay homage to some of the pioneers who haven't gotten that love. I definitely want to do more events like that, because doing it for the past 2 years, I've really seen that there is a gap. And a lot of the folks said, yeah, we need something like this. So I want to continue trying to cultivate those types of events and platforms for people to have their story heard and allow them to tell their own story. And we're planning to do it in Halifax next year with the Junos, where the Junos are, not with the Junos, because it's not an official Juno event. But for me personally, because it's my 30th anniversary this year, I want to take time to plan a party. So God willing, I'll see you in person somewhere, and then we'll be drinking champagne and celebrating 30 years.
And you did a 25th, right?
I did a 20th with Manifesto, and I did a 25th at Revival. So we'll see what happens this year.
So the Manifesto event, that was your 20th. You did a 20th there.
That was my 20th. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was with Julie Black and Eternia. Phoenix Tara Chase came out of retirement to perform, right? Which was dope. Jelly 2 Fly.
That's the Dread, right?
Yeah. So got to do something nice for 30 years. What do you think? What do you think I should do?
I think that you should do it on Pizza in the Break Room.
Say a word.
30th? 30th, huh? 30th sounds big. So you did Manifesto. You did. What was the other place you did?
Revival. So we had like Rochester performed, Ray Robinson, Mishi. So I had some performances, some surprises, surprise guests. So yeah, I got to think of what to do for 30 now. I'll take suggestions if anybody in the chat has suggestions too.
The Brentway, that's that's underneath the bridge, right?
Yeah, but isn't that like in the cold, like the ice skating thing?
Well, I mean, is your 30th going to be in the winter?
Well, sometime this year. I don't want to wait till winter time in Canada.
No, yeah, okay.
You know, it's just like
these are important details.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Here we go. Channel 9 should rap.
Oh gosh.
Oh my.
So that's the first suggestion.
Yeah.
Who else got suggestions?
So he could be a surprise guest because we know he has a career from Electric Circus back in the day.
Yes.
Do you guys have that clip? Can you pull up that clip though? That's the real test.
I don't know how fast we can get that clip up, but that's a clip still,
so
I guess.
To pick and choose. It's a party.
No, the Monday after that aired.
Yeah.
At school.
That guy had a crown on. He was walking around with a crown on.
It was a wrap.
Can't talk to this guy.
Can't talk to the same way.
Had a crown
talk to me nicely.
Exactly. Yeah. Talk to me nicely.
With a tie. With his very word tie.
With a very word tie.
Oh boy. All right. So
what's next on deck for you guys? What's next on deck for Pizza in the Break Room?
I think we're sticking to the mantra, and that is get together with people and let them tell their stories, or talk to some people. Like that's what it's always been for me. Is come tell your story on our show and let's talk about it. Like we'll have a little bit of fun, because there's a lot of people that we've been able to, or we've been blessed to be a part of their lives. Like people talk about all these Mary Ward folk, and I don't think of it as something that's wild and crazy. I just think of it as like, it's all those Mary Ward folk, Oh man, look at that. That's my alarm. Don't mind my alarm. That's my 1111 alarm. Mrs. Ron C, Miss Denise Jojo. So for me, I think if we stick to that, that's our mission statement, right? And just continuing to foster that, continue to have good conversations, because I know it's the same thing when people talk about Mary Ward people, like, Mel, you're legendary. Like there's a story behind you. Like I've known you for years upon years, and to see what you're doing now, like that's some crazy stuff. And you're here on the show. And to me, it was to get you here. It was, hey Mel, like come on the show, let's talk. Right. And I think, we've had a pretty good conversation for the last little while, and I've learned some things, and hopefully the people have learned some things. Right. And we've done the same thing we were doing however many years it was back in high school. And that's just kind of sharing our talents and what we do and stuff like that. Yeah. Right. So, all right. So I'm going to pause everybody for a second too. So in 45 seconds, Mel, it'll be 11:11.
Okay.
And at 11:11, we do this like this juju thing. Like everybody, good juju in the chat, good juju in the atmosphere, good juju just, So if you, Mel, like you asked us what's next for us, and we asked you what's next for you, everybody's going to put juju in the chat up in that, right? So we're going to catch some good juju for the things that we want to manifest and all that, and the things that we want to happen. And you and I and Fitz, we're going to send good juju out there too, back to the people. So it is now officially in 2, 1. It's 11:11 right now. So pure good juju, everybody. It's 11:11 in the chat. Mel, thank you so much. Like, this juju goes back years and years, and this is what happens with good juju, people, because clearly, you know, if we weren't all good peeps back in the day, we wouldn't all be here together right now, right? So that's currency, and that goes a very long way, everybody. So just be nice to people.
11:11's in the chat, y'all. 11:11 in the chat.
Do unto others and just be positive as much as you can and support people. It's easy to support people, so continue with that. Still, that's my contribution to 11:11. Fitz, you got like 10 seconds left of it. What do you got?
Well, everybody, just whatever it is that you desire, heed the words that Miss Mel Boogie has says, bring in some good energy and just breathe it out and manifest all it is that you desire.
It's 11:12. Oh, we got to raid out somewhere. So Mel, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I'm just going to figure out who the hell's playing right now and where we're going. We're going to get out of here. Star Q, winner, chicken dinner. Give me 1 second here. That's who's in the place, man. Big up some people in the place.
Yeah, let me just see who we can big up here.
And we could do a quick cheers.
Oh, wait, hang on. I got to pour a new drink to get a cheers because I'm not going to fake everybody out and cheers on an empty drink right now. So give me one.
Right after your juju.
Yeah, man, I gotta keep the juju going. So everybody's got a second right now. Everybody up in the chat, if you have a drink, get your drink ready. Right? If you don't have one, well, look, I'm getting my drink ready. Probably a bad decision, but you know what? We gotta do what we gotta do. So,
what are you drinking there, T-Dot?
I got the Heineken, always the Heineken and the red cup for the show.
And Fitz, what you got? Some vino?
I do have some vino. This is a Chardonnay.
Okay.
From Kunzelman Estate Winery, Lakefront Series.
Well, go on. All right, I just kept it with Enniskillen. It's a Riesling Pinot Grigio.
All right.
Niagara. All right, cheers, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers to life, everyone. Yes. Enjoy the rest of your week and all that good stuff.
Cheers, everybody. All right, so Mel, you're gonna get you to hang on for one hot second. Everybody, thank you so much.
Yes, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Again, episode 87 with DJ Mel Boogie. We appreciate y'all. Like my homie T. Hotshot says, you could be anywhere in the world, but you've decided to be here with us, and we appreciate you. The Qwerty Queen, thank you for joining us. Miss G Lab, thank you for joining us. M. Lewis, thank you for joining us. Miss Sylvia, tap in, thank you for joining Peace in the Break Room. Mishi Bell, thank you so much for joining us. Julie
Christy
Mango.
Yes. Julie?
IQ Remix, thank you for joining. Foxy G, thank you for joining.
Foxy G.
Daryl with a V.
Break Room.
Thank you for joining us. Dovey Dove.
Yes.
You know that me and Dovey Dove used to be an R&B group in high school?
Now you bring that up?
Yo, I bring it up at the end because we can't get
we can't talk about it. So
we're gonna talk about it, maybe off the air, but we're gonna talk about it.
DJ Polly Lopez, thank you for joining. This DJ Mr. GQ Love.
Oh wait, Star Q just rated out. Hang on, cancel. Ooh,
DH Lady.
Where did he go?
Joining us.
Where did Star Q go?
Juicy.
Sorry, we'll get you out in 1 second.
Thank you for joining, Chris and Manny and Kelly. Thank you for joining. Denise Jojo, Miss Ron C, DJ Channel 9, that boy Jerry Christy Ray. Baby what up with you?
We're gonna go to DJ Baby You, everybody. Sorry for the delay.
Man like Baby You.
Man like Baby You.
DJ Baby You. And we're just gonna giddy up and get. Oh wait, and here comes the raid now button. It's counting down. 5, 4, 3.
Everybody, thank you for joining again. Mel Boogie, thank you so much for your time. It was great, and we appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Mel.
Legend in the building.
Yes.
All right. I clicked it out. We're out.
All right.